piaccia, solamente parliamo in italiano.
This is Little Italy, the few blocks either side of India Street, just north of downtown. At one time, a lot of families lived here. Today, it's mostly commercial. The Italian families still here are holdouts from long ago. And the businesses that remain, the ones strong enough to survive a deserted community. You'll find in many of them, they still do things the old way. Mario Cefalo has had a bakery and deli here for nearly 20 years. But today, most of his business comes at lunch from the people downtown. But for a lot of the businesses here, it's still very hard. The old customers are few and far between.
They still come around, but used to come around once a week. Now they come maybe every 6 months, every 3 months.
They do come back here to buy their bread, their pasta, and cheese, all the things you need for a special occasion. And they come back to the neighborhood for weddings and christenings, back to the church built by the fishermen. Little Italy was a thriving community when Our Lady of the Rosary opened in 1925, and that was true for about another 25 years until the freeway was built, and I-5 cut Little Italy in half. That was the beginning of the end. Most families moved out after the freeway came, leaving the ones who stayed with mostly memories. Fred Stornillo was born on India Street. He went to work here at the original Felipe's when he was 9. Fred remembers what it was like as a kid.
It was great. We had DeFalco's down in the corner here, and they used to park the watermelon trucks on the corner, and we used to, can I say this? We used to take a couple. And everybody on the street in the morning used to come out with their robes and the old curls in their hair and walk across the street to, there was Busy Bee and Tommy's Meat Market, and do all their shopping.
I think this area, this Italian area, and I've read in newspapers many times about it, needs remodeling, needs some help from the city, and so that they can renew buildings and have this area more modern, in better shape than it is. I think it is coming to San Diego, a bit of Europe.
Plans have already been approved to put the utilities underground. Now, if the Revitalization Committee gets its way, sidewalks will be expanded. They'll bring in sidewalk cafes and build little parks on the corner. It would make it much more of a pedestrian area. Now, these are long-term plans, but for Little Italy, it's hope for new life. Most in Little Italy would like to see the community renewed, but for others, it will never be the same. Fifi Parmigiani was a fisherman. He grew up on the waterfront and was sad to see it change.
I never would foresee this to happen. My opinion is that our government has never stood by the industry like it should have.
Many things here have changed. Fred Briganti came in 1915. He can tell you how much.
The Naval Training Station and the Marine Training Station was underwater. I used to shoot, there used to be all full of toolies there. We used to shoot ducks in there. It was just full of ducks in the wintertime when they migrated here. Just thousands and thousands of ducks here. And I can remember in January of high tide where Midway and Causeway is now, that would have 4 inches of ocean water on it. With just that much water on it. Those are good old days.
Little Italy has a lot of past, a very uncertain future. But for the people who stayed, it's what they shared that's important.
People live here. We've more or less raised together. We went to school together, and we got married, and their kids have grown up. We've kind of grown together here in this neighborhood. We've just been more or less together.